Hello, hello. We will get started shortly here. Get going on Instagram. Take a minute, as always. So, we're going to do a special event today for really focusing on coming into the heart. Here we go on Instagram, though. So, we're good on both sides. So, while we get started, set up here. Uh, okay. That looks like that didn't go through. I have no idea what it says, but let me type in my message again because it's telling me it didn't go through. So and Karen popping in. Yes, hello. Get settled in. It's showing. Did you guys get a message on Instagram saying welcome to CIB Open Heart Special? Because it's telling me it didn't go through. So let me. Oh, let me get my headset too. That way the quality will be better. So on YouTube, did you guys get is there a welcome message saying welcome to Coming in Being as we get started? And Carolina on the Instagram side. So nobody's answered. There's a little bit of a delay probably. I'll just send it out again. So let me just type it in. It's telling me it didn't go through. Okay, thank you. So no, it didn't go through. So let me type it back in. And I can't. It'll be faster if I don't talk. So just get settled in your space, and we'll get started shortly. Okay, there's an abbreviated message. So Tanya, Karen, Elise, Sydney, Tanya, and Carolina on the other side. I know there's some other people who wanted to join in, and we'll get started here. So get settled in. This is going to be, so just a little bit set up here. This is going to be probably full on hour. We'll see, with some time at the end for questions or for sharing and stuff. But it's going to be a focused session. So just kind of stay in your space. So kind of stay off the chat, in other words, and just kind of be present with what's going on for yourself. Computer issues. Well, you made it. You're here, so that's fine. We'll forgive your computer this time. And then at the end, well, I'll just open up the space for, just kind of chatting and stuff and sharing your experience. I'm signed here on YouTube, but not signed in. Okay. Yeah, so wherever that goes. So yeah, it's getting to be more. It's a little bit of run in here, run up to this. It's getting to be more and more critical to really come into that heart space, and it's an easy task, but there's a lot that we really need to do, to be there, to get there, and to be living in that space. So the focus today is to really help kind of clear up the path and clean up the path so that it is easier for you to do that and to come into that space. It's not just a question of just jumping in and, oh yeah, we're in the heart space. Fine. You can go into these moments of experiencing it, but living being in that space and living from that space takes cleaning up a lot of our emotional stuff and a lot of the mental stuff. So it's a work in progress, but this really opens up the way for the universe that we are all aiming for, that we are all lining up for, and shifting into a higher consciousness. So this is a kind of the main part, main piece of it here. So this session, of course, can't take you through the whole thing, but to help you to just help clear out some of the stuff that we have around the heart, and what that means and what that's about, and getting us going on that. So just take a moment right now, as we kind of, before we really dive in, is just to sense where you're at right now. And when I use the word feeling or to feel, I'm not talking about the emotions. I'm talking about maybe physical sensations or energetic sensations. And how do you know which is which? It doesn't matter, whatever you're noticing at that level. And it's probably a mix of both. So, if you're feeling tightness somewhere, if it could be your body, it could be just around you. So that's what I mean about feeling, not the emotion, because that word is often used to, how do you feel? Meaning, what's your emotional space kind of thing. But we're not looking at it that way here. So take a moment right now to sense where you're at right now. What's your starting point? What's your baseline? Where are you coming in from with this, into this event? We've got a lot of beings that are present for this. Some also that I didn't expect. I don't ever call them in particular, but they are part of the beings that are here to help usher in this higher consciousness and help guide those who need it, and who want to step into that higher space. Yeah, and just kind of think about, well, how does that feel? This whole piece about being and living in and from your heart. What does that bring up for you? And if it's bringing up fear or hesitation, make a note of that, as much as like, oh God, I can't wait. Also, it might be bringing up memories. It might be bringing up some deeper stuff that you're not anticipating that. And yeah, there's anticipation. There's a buzz. There's a buzz in the group here. This is good. Yeah, and we're all kind of tired, so it's kind of coming through, and we're all kind of in that place of like, can we be there already? And so wanting to move forward, and be there, and it will take the time that it takes, and we can use that time to refine ourselves more and more, so that we can really go into it much more deeply. The earth is in charge here. The new earth is in charge here, and it will decide when it's time. And it's not looking at all this people who are more focused. It's looking at the whole picture of humanity and the earth, everything on the earth. So when it's time, that the earth will do it, will move. But we're building up to that. There's a lot of building up and growing into that, which is amazing. Now, I was talking to somebody earlier, and what's happening now has never happened in existence ever before. And what is happening is that instead of being in third dimension and then leaving third dimension, disappearing from third dimension, we're going into fourth dimension. So really kind of shifting into a different different dimension, and then everything just it's gone kind of thing. It's like we're taking everything with us. Normally, you would leave your body, and we're actually shifting everything, even at the physical level, up to the fourth dimensional level, and it's never been done before. That's part of why the population on the earth is as big as it is, because there's a lot of beings who want to be here for that. It's like the biggest show in existence ever. and we have the front seat. So not always easy, but you know, that's the way it goes. That's what we've chosen to do. So hats off to everybody here. All right, so let's take a nice deep breath in and we'll get started here. So let yourself settle into your physical body, your physical environment, taking a moment to notice where you are in your physical environment and really coming into your body, noticing like the space you're in, like the room you're in, and your body within that room and that difference, really becoming aware of that size difference and the space you take up, that your physical presence takes up. Yeah. And let's coming into your chest, focusing on your breathing and just noticing where the breathing is at. Sinking in a little bit more deeply into that breath. Maybe see if you can just slow it down a little bit, but you should be able to just slow down anyways, just from bringing your awareness down into your chest space, into that upper torso. Yeah, already some clearing happening of little stray energies that people have around them. There's all sorts of things that are showing up around people. It's more than not what normally shows up, but coming into being. So the word gets out. The word gets out, and everything starts kind of popping up, coming over. So just kind of staying focused on your breath and being present with yourself and your physical form, your physical body. Opening up the space more deeply, large for you, giving us more space for this. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Nice shift there. Okay, the first thing I want you to just bring to mind, and you don't have to go thinking about it too much, just we'll see what pops up when I say it, but bringing to mind expectation, like around the outcome of the session. Okay, so let's clear that up first and just stay focused on your breath. That cleared this piece. So a bit of mental patterning, of course, around that. Okay. So this is interesting because that has brought a ceiling. You know, like they talk about the glass ceiling. It's so that kind of ceiling that just kind of is sitting over people, but it's not glass. It's rather gray looking. So we're gonna shift through that. Let's see if there's anything more we need to know about that. It will come through. Wow. So part of that has to do with the boxes that we inadvertently put ourselves in. And we do that in a lot of ways. We do that because of our beliefs. We do that because we kind of get focused on one thing. You know, this is the way, for example. And then it creates a box around us and determines how far we can go. So I invite you right now. You don't have to think too much about it, but because I'm partly what's happening is when I talk, I'm talking to you, but it's really at the spirit level, bringing it into your consciousness. But I invite you at this time to just put aside, step outside of the box just for this session. You can step back in afterwards if you want to. That's your full choice. But for this time, just to kind of like give yourself more room to explore. So this was just around the session outcome. So, you know, we start formulating pictures about and thoughts and ideas about, okay, once I shift out of this, once I let go of this thing, once I change this, it's going to be great. It's going to be X, Y, Z. And so that's an expectation. So stepping back from that and we're going to put that aside for now. You can pick those up again anytime you want. Yeah. So good. All right. Now, like expectations around what living from the heart looks like. Okay. So first it was about what you're going to get out of this session. Now it's like, well, what do you think that's going to look like? So just what I brought up, right? Yeah, and it's also bringing up fear. It's also bringing up pulling people into their heart space because they want people to be connected with people in their heart space. You don't want to be doing that. You hold your own space. No one and nothing comes into your space except you. You can connect through the heart space, but that is about connecting through the space of existence, not directly into your heart space. Yay, welcome, Betty. Yeah, so just settle in. And so taking a nice deep breath in. So let's shift and open that up. So that comes through a lot of mental stuff about supposed to, obligation, responsibility. It's amazing how much of that stuff can come up in little ways when we thought we've cleared that all up. You know, even the religious paradigm's like, whoa, more little angles on it, more little threads coming up, and all these things, and we just keep at it. We just notice that and shift out of that and step to the side instead of getting wrapped up in it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we can leave all those people aside. A lot of people came through on that one. In general for the group here. Yeah, and a bit around, again, you know, what that looks like. Like, it gets connected into, well, life is going to be fantastic and grand, and yes, and then we might still have those challenges, but the way we approach those challenges more we live in that space of the heart, will be completely different. That's the piece that starts to shift, especially, you know. Okay. All right, let's bring up, well, let's see. This kind of come up a bit already, but let's see if there's anything else that's coming up around expectations in the form of judgments around the topic about living in the heart. And yep, that brings up some heaviness for people. So let's take a nice deep breath into that. Hold your breath and then slowly just exhale out, like you're just releasing that from your being. It's like right now, right here, right now, we're just going to put this aside. Yeah, there we go. Wow, that's amazing how much stuff is clearing out. Just we haven't even started the full-on clearing. We're just kind of, this is the pre-prep. Yeah, and so what I see happening, at least for some people, is that when you shift that judgment, because we're so used to being in a certain frame of mind, you shift that, and it makes people, it's leaving some people just kind of standing naked, like feeling exposed because they've been hiding themselves behind the expectations, you know. It becomes like just this layer that you're putting on you, so that you don't have to really fully be in that fully open, vulnerable space. So again, we can go back to that, but I invite you to here for this session to just allow yourself to put that aside for now. You're in your space by yourself. Yes, we're in this group space on the higher level. That this is a space for all of us to just be open, safe place for you to do this. Yeah. And you can pick up your buddies at the door if you want. Okay, good. All right, very nice, very good job. So I'm a bit clearer here. That was a good bit of cleaning. I wasn't expecting quite that much, so that's good. That's good all that came up. Okay. So first part we're gonna clear is, and clean up, is the space of the mind. Yes. So just feel what that's brought up. And might feel like some heaviness in above you, around you, especially above you. It's showing up above. But and also causing some brain patterning that's densified brain patterning, I guess I would say. That should feel a little lighter. Some people are going, oh my God, this feels different as that opens up. Yeah, very nice. So focusing on clearing, the thinking patterns, anything that comes in thoughts of beliefs, is one of those things. Wow, that's creating a nice, huge level of brightness here in the group, clearing that out. I think some of you have a lot of history, not just personal, individual history of this, but lineage history, past life history with this piece. And humanity's been stuck in that place generally speaking, stuck in that mental place for quite a bit. So no surprises there. Okay, that's actually taking me down to the throat and below, because what's happened is that that thinking stuff has created these pathways and these structures that going and kind of anchor into the form, and so keeping you from being able to really have that flexibility and flow of movement. Yeah. So it's actually, is he going down the throat and then down further down the throat. So it's sort of like this little metal cage that has formed around people. So beyond the brain, beyond the head and the brain here. So we're also like clearing out brain patterning. So brain patterning, for example, it's like if you have a habitual thought that comes up, what happens is, you've all heard this, everybody's been talking about this for so long, but just to refresh, it's there's a neuron pathway that just keeps firing. And so there's this keeps firing and keeps firing and keeps firing. And so that it literally creates a groove. And so it becomes it's like letting that little marble just roll down that groove. It just goes right there. It's going to be a lot easier for that marble to go rolling down that groove than to go in a new direction. So those are the kind of marbles we want to lose. So yeah, shifting out that kind of webbing. It's stiff webbing. It's not very flexible. That's bringing through so much brightness in people to just shift that. This is like really, really nice. Yeah, very good. So that's just dropping away. That's very nice. Okay, let's take a look at the emotions. So people have been misled by the word emotions, and you've got to feel the emotion of something to bring it into manifestation. Personally, I can tell you from personal experience that has never worked for me. The problem with emotions is that they are reactions to something. And a lot of times we carry emotions that are not our own, that are from someone else, from something else. We learn how to be a certain way growing up, and we take that emotional content. When we shift out of this consciousness, we need to shift out of the emotional piece, because the emotional and kind of the mental thought patterns that we are used to are actually denser. It's a denser form. And so when we shift into a higher consciousness, we don't need that. And we want to come into a really clean space with that. You can use emotions as guiding points. And when I don't know if any of you noticed it, but it does happen to me. It's like I might get really angry about something, and there's this energy that comes through and propels me forward, um, as opposed to and then it just dissipates. And once that forward motion has taken place, that anger has dissipated because it's sort of like fuel. It's acting as fuel to get me moving. And then once it dissipates, once I'm moved forward, that's gone, and moved forward even in terms of how I'm seeing something, how I'm understanding something, as opposed to the kind of anger that just sits there and festers, and you're like, I want to get back at that person. It's like, I can't stand him. You're stewing around in it. So it is an emotion, but it's very different. It's a clean emotion. It just comes through, and then it's done. And it can be done one moment to the next. You can get fired up one moment, and then the very next moment, it's like you're back to just kind of happy-go-lucky, normal kind of thing. So um, learn to recognize that. Learn to notice those emotions that they're just festering in you. They're just like, that is not clean, and you want to just shift yourself out of those. So when those come up. So let's take a big deep breath in. Hold it for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, release. And there's a deeper layer here that's showing up. It's a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, grief, pain. Grief with connection with pain, suffering. That will not get you any closer to your heart either. So, so take a nice deep breath in. We're going to clean that out too. That's actually acting as a block to coming more deeply into your heart. The heart is a very clean space. You might be moved by what you perceive, what's around you. And again, so start noticing that difference. Where does that take you? Where does that feeling take you? Is it like just sucking the life out of you? Really anchoring you into that pain? Or it's just that open feeling that is flowing. So there's a lot of, so we're going to get this started, but this is going to be something to keep at for yourself. We'll get at the end here, we'll get into just kind of working through that, noticing that, coming into that space, practicing being in the space of the heart, and then letting whatever comes up to be clear to come up, so that you go deeper and deeper and remove more of that cover. Yeah. Yeah, good. Again, we're shifting people out, people's frequencies out of all of you here. Again, it feels a little scary for some, at least, because the emotions, that emotional expression, and even to the point of drama, has been actually a safe space for people. It's been a way to really hide yourself and not be seen. Ah, that's a heavy one here. It's sinking, pulling back, so that's good. Oh, yeah, very nice. Okay, let's take a moment here. We're just gonna take a little bit of a rest here and just hang out here for a little bit to settle in more deeply. There's been a lot has cleared out here. So let's just give ourselves time to just adjust a little bit. And focusing on your breath. And if it needs to slow down a little bit, maybe you might notice that, okay, kind of got sidetracked here, maybe pulled in the head, thinking about stuff that was coming up, what you were feeling. That's fine. And just noticing that, maybe slowing the breath down a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. Settling in more, just relaxing down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Moving along quite well. It's hard to know how long this will take, but we've cleared up so much. It's really amazing. All right, we've looked at this next piece of attachments here a little bit, but let's just check ourselves here. So, any attachments? Let's bring up any attachments to the mind. You know, there's a lot of mental cultures, intellectualism, for example, that really has attached to the mind, and using that mental piece to be in control, to be on top of things, to even mental dominance, to show ourselves as strong, as better than. That's bringing up a lot. um, it's interesting because it's showing up like a cap with all these wires, all these connectors plugging into the head, plugging in and controlling your mind, controlling your head, controlling. So we're not letting go of the mind. We're cleaning it up so that it functions more properly relative to the heart, living in the heart, being in the heart. Yeah. Whew. Oh, this is a big piece. All right. Stay focused on your breath, your chest space. I shift this piece. This is a pretty big piece also. Might feel like there's fresh air blowing through the head, through the brain, because it literally feels that way. Even it might even feel cool. There's kind of that cool, ice cool feeling. You might even hear a sizzle, but for some reason that came up, you know, like putting ice on something really hot, how that sizzles. Sava, hello. Glad you made it. Kind of coming towards the end. That's okay. We've got a little bit more to go, so you'll want to, I'll, since you showed up, get you the replay, so you'll want to go through this again. So we cleared up quite a bit, quite a lot of stuff here. So yeah, the sizzle came up, you know, like you put ice on something really hot, like a really high pan, how that sizzles. So that's what popped up. So it might even feel like your brain cooling down, your head cooling down. There we go. Really bringing very nice sense of softness that this is shifting. This is shifting, this is bringing forward. Okay. Wow, that was an interesting piece also to shift. Or what's showing up from shifting this is interesting. It's just there's a very soft quality to the energy that's showing up as a result of having cleared this out. So it's a bit. I'm hesitating to say this because I don't really want to make this association, but okay, it's okay for me to bring this up. All right. It's a quality that we see more in the feminine, is that softness. Now, it doesn't mean that the softness is the feminine, but just that gentleness, that, what we can associate with vulnerability, just being more kind of relaxed, more at ease, instead of being tight, holding tight and defensive kind of thing. So it's bringing that through. Very nice quality, yeah. Okay, deep breath in, hold it at the top, and then slowly release. And I want to step you guys into a little separate space here. Shift you. Oh, there we go. For the next piece. Okay. So yeah, just kind of separating that out from that previous space, just to make this next piece a little easier also. The next piece is around fear. Fear around the heart. Quite literally around the heart, but also fear of being in the heart. The fear of the mind not being in control. So when you start aligning those two pieces, there's the mind going, holy shit, I'm supposed to be in control. And so fear about bringing both of those. So that might be more at the mental level, and even at the emotional level, being exposed. And so having used the mind to protect, to kind of just create that separation for ourselves, but it's been creating a barrier. Yeah. And again, that vulnerability piece, that. So it's about learning to be strong within ourselves. We'll get to that in a minute. To be able to hold this better. So this is why it's work in progress. We're not going to just jump right into that, because I think by now you realize how much there is that's been working against coming into the heart space, coming into that place of openness and connection to all of existence. Yeah, that's bringing up some fears. Whoa. And that's been going on for so long. I mean, this isn't just you. This is something that's been in the psyche, the human psyche, for so long that it's very few people have really are outside of that. Grow up, live, experience life outside of that, you know. Yeah, again, some vulnerability showing up. So it's bringing up fear, just that, you know, and that pulling in. Just breathe into whatever shows up for you. And again, you know, you're in a safe space here to do that. If you feel you need that protection, you can pick it up again at the at the door, you know, at the end here. Right now, do your best to just, okay, let's put this aside here. I'm going to put it right there on the table next to me or whatever, floor next to me, just for now. Just so you can have that experience of not being in such a fear space, yeah. And you all have good reasons for having been there. You know, that's been a safety mechanism, that's been for protection. So yeah. So allowing us to gently open up into this. All right. And again, I'm going to separate out from the group from this space, just move it up. And even, I mean, you're already kind of separated, but instead of being at the same level, just kind of shift you up so that it's below you instead of further away from you. Yeah. So most of you have jumped up there, but some of you are still shifting out. So I want to make sure that you're all shifted up into that clean space, clean space. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Last person was like, whoa, okay, this feels better. This is great. Yeah, very nice. Yes, it does. All right. Coming into your heart space, even put your chest, and just even putting your hands there, just to really bring your awareness there, and being present with yourself. Yeah, kind of opening up that, trusting yourself, trusting your heart, trusting the beings who are here to support you and help you. But especially trusting yourself. Ha! Yeah. And you might start to feel like a little glow in the center of your chest. If you do, or something, you know, bringing your attention there, just kind of feel that, opening that up. Allow your awareness to just move in that direction, move towards that glow, that light, or that sensation. Yeah, through the nervous system. Ha! There you go, into the brain. Yeah, very nice. Okay, and staying there and just kind of keep staying in that space. I want to open up that pathway between the heart and the mind so they can have more direct connection. Okay, that's bringing up a little fear there. So keep breathing that. I'll just kind of gently open that up. Okay, so I can't open it up all the way because there's just too much resistance to opening it up all the way. So we're not going to do that. And that wasn't really the intention yet, but kind of giving, it's like putting a little light beam putting a little, painting that white line down the middle of the road so that you know where the path is. And yeah, there you go. So when you're ready, it's clear. You have that. And some of you might jump in right away. Some of you might just take a little bit more time. And you might find yourself also going back and forth. It's some days it's like boom, go right in. And probably more than not, that's what's going to happen. And then other days it's like, okay, and that's okay. Be okay with that. But you're going to have that kind of directional line to bring these in harmony and balance. Yeah, there we go. Clearing out some more old shit here. Good clearing. All right, let's take a nice deep breath in. Oh, that was nice clear. So we're getting to the crowning piece here, the cherry on the top here for today. Probably going to run a little bit longer than the hour. Feel yourself just kind of relaxing into your space, into your body, into your being. There's a lot of very brightly lit space. A lot of sparkly colors. Okay. Now we're going to just kind of give you a taster, but to help bring in that ease of. So first, just let yourself experience just the mind by itself. And not in action, but just that aspect of yourself. And feel it. Yeah, very nice. And then breathe out once and just open your eyes to just reset. And then close them back up. And now let yourself just experience the heart. Just that heart space, that chest space. So just feeling that by itself. Likely you'll feel it very different, and that's fine. Whatever, they each have their own flavor, yeah. And then breathe out, and then open your eyes. Okay. And then close your eyes back up. Now there's anticipation of what's next. You guys are cute. Okay, take a deep breath in. And as you release the breath, just allow yourself to experience both the mind and the heart at the same time. And just being present with that feeling of the mind and the heart, and feeling both at the same time. And let's let that unfold. It's kind of brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. It feels a little awkward. Just feel and sense what's happening. And notice any images that might come up, any sensations, any colors, any sounds and tastes. Just notice that as you allow yourself to hold both of those at the same time. So some of you are having a little bit of trouble with that. Okay, so that's fine. Do the best you can, and just come back to this and do it again. And Elizabeth, you'll probably, if you go through and do the whole thing again, it will be cleaner also for you. And then let yourself feel that feeling, what it's like, allowing both to be at the same time. It's not one or the other, but both together. And become aware of your body as you notice this feeling, sensations of that. And then staying present with that feeling, with your body, and then open your eyes and look at your environment as you allow yourself to feel that feeling also. Yeah. Okay. So just an introduction. All right. Let yourself reorient. And then if you want to put up any comments, you're welcome to. Instagram too. I can see the comments on Instagram for over there. So there's to support growing into being in the heart space. Kind of there's quite a bit you can do really, but just kind of keeping it simple for yourself. The first one, oh, and let me put up my QR code because I always forget. So for those who, whoops, what was that? For those who would like to make a donation there, I will make it easy because I always forget to do this for myself. So one of the things that becomes important is to really just disconnect from everything that is connecting, tapping into you. And it might not be really easy to do, but when you do that, it really helps to anchor you into your body. It's a cold shower, like in the morning. It's not a long shower, and I've got one that's got the nozzle you can hold, so it's easy to just start with the feet, move up, and do that. And doing that will help you to separate out from, really pull you into your body. So consider that. I'll read the comments in a minute. Yeah. And then just practicing, just practicing of coming into your heart. So close your eyes. Now you can do this right now as I walk you through it, but just close your eyes, focus on your breath. You can put your hand here because again, the tactile thing will just help anchor your awareness into that area. Even just your fingers, just your heart, tapping into your heart, or just feeling that. Letting your breath slow down, letting yourself just drop into that feeling. Slowing the breath down, and then get into kind of a rhythmic breathing of 5 counts in, 5 counts out. I'm seeing those comments. I will look at. I can't talk and chew gum at the same time, so I'll come back to these because you guys are making some really awesome comments here. So this is cool. And so you can practice this every day and grow in coming into that space. And the more you do that, the more you can grow that, and it doesn't have to be very long. 5 minutes is good, so it's not about length, it's about doing it. There was one question that came up about talking with animals. And Elizabeth, you had asked that before, and we never continued that conversation. So I don't know where you went with that exercise. I was starting to get you in that direction. That's all right. So in the space of the heart, almost hear musical notes. Yeah, very nice. Um, almost in the space of the heart, you connect to all of existence. And to connect, it's a matter of coherence. So that breath, practicing that breath and that rhythmic breath of in and out, the same number of counts, will help you to develop heart coherence, that coherence within your being to be in that space. So when you go into that, and talking with the ocean too, yeah. So anything in existence, the more you come into your heart, the more you can do that. And it's being in that place of coherence. And when you're in that place of coherence, in the heart space, that space of coherence, and it opens up to everything and anything in existence. So you might need to practice that. But notice that, like with animals, when you let yourself come into your heart, because they feel your energy, and that comes through the words, they will feel that. So letting yourself come into that space of the heart, find that coherence by getting into that rhythmic breath, and even allowing yourself to kind of sink in with them as well, sink in with the animal or the ocean. Taking that moment to get into that state of coherence through your breath, the communication will come through. So, okay, I got to look at these because there's a lot of beautiful comments made. I feel light, pink, and soft with the heart. With the mind, I feel the push, pull, back and forth type thing. Okay, so work in progress. You can get to that place where the mind is just in that open space of receiving. Feels like I cleared up a lot of space. Belonging pieces in the beginning. Okay. I never connected to heart and mind before. Yeah, they're both there, but it's about them working together, and it's about the heart actually directing the mind, and the mind doing what it does best, which is kind of organizing things, getting that structure going, getting, whatever. So we don't want one or the other, because we have both. They both have their places. They both have their uses. So bringing those in. Okay. Wow. Amazing. I have mixed experiences when you meet with us. Powerful. That's great. Glad to hear that. Feels like coming home after a long roundabout diversion. Really long, really long. Centuries, eons in the making. Yes, good. That's good. Felt like small flowers were blooming when we connected the heart mind. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. And so you're bringing to mind something else in terms of, come into that space of that heart and feeling that love. So nature is a really easy one. I think you guys can all kind of relate to that feeling a place in nature that you really like, that's away from the buildings and stuff, like middle of a nice big park or something, and really feeling that love and that open-heartedness, what that love comes to, really feeling that for yourself. And then you can kind of visualize kind of like a little ball of it, and sending it down to the core of the earth, sending it to letting the response come back to you, sending it up to the sky, letting the sky or the cosmos, letting the response come back to you, sending it back to yourself, and being in that for yourself. Small flowers blooming when we connected it. Yeah, so that usually when I get plants showing up, nature showing up, that's like the earth coming up. So I almost hear musical notes, yeah, on those deeper levels. B, so tired and sleepy now, felt a release and now need rest. Yeah, so that's a good thing to do, to just help to give yourself that space to integrate. Yeah, talking with the oceans. Okay, we talked that. I think I want to continue this and work all the way down to the ground in my body. Yeah, I'm not real clear on that, but work all the way down. It sounds like it's taking you into a direction there. I agree with Rebecca. Yeah. And so coming yeah, coming into that, coming into your body and coming in specifically to the hearts. There's going to be different pieces, but that's both are important. Yosemite, yeah, there's a lot of a place I feel truly at home. Good. So what use whatever nature space that's generally speaking where we can just kind of open up, let our hearts open up and feel that love. Continue clearing. Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, guys. So there's the little donation uh, code, QR code for you guys if you wish to do so. That'd be great. Um, this will go on private on YouTube and uh, send me an email. So I've got my email up there on the screen. Send me an email saying, yeah, hi, send me the link, please. Some of you are in the Telegram group, but of you are not. So just make sure you send me a email asking for it, and I'll send you the link. You were here, so you can get it. But it's a special event, open, because that just makes it easier on YouTube for people to join in. And if there's anybody in the background that's showing up in the background and isn't on the chat, just send me an email so that you can go back and listen to that. That's okay if you came in late. You still made it. So thank you guys. That was a beautiful session. Very very nice and very good work on all of you. And may this take you forward and deeper into that expression of your being and stepping into that greater consciousness of yourself and of existence. All that. So thank you all for being here. So take care, everybody. And the next time, I think it's next week, actually. So back to regular coming into being next week. So see you then. And Caroline, let me read Carolina's comments first. I knew this would be a powerful session today. I had a trauma response come up literally after drinking lots of water this morning. Okay. Your first clearing seemed to get me out of internal energetic structures that had been there. Yeah, powerful. Oh, thanks. So that's good. Good to know that. So really good work with everybody again, and really good, really good cleaning. You never know what's going to happen with these things, but we had a lot of beings come through to support this, because this is where we're moving to. This is where we really need to move into to shift not just ourselves, but all of existence. The things that we can create and manifest and change by really anchoring into the heart of the space. But there's that work that needs to be done first of clearing and opening up the way and clearing up all the emotional baggage that we have, that we're still carrying. So work with that and don't be afraid of what comes up, and just say, okay, time to move on. And this was lovely. Thank you. Okay, very good. Thank you all. And we'll see you next week for a regular session. All right, take care, everybody.